Hello and welcome back to the Betting Odds Show, the show where we give you the comprehensive rundown of the trending betting markets and give you our best bets for the biggest game in football. I'm joined by our punting pioneer, Anton. Anton, how was your weekend, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad, Charlie.
Good man, good man. I don't know what you saw of the FA Cup this weekend, but we had two shocks. 8-1 Arsenal beating Man City and Chelsea beating Man United. What did you make of it and who do you think is going to win the final?
Well, like you say, two upsets there, Arsenal in particular. Fantastic performance. The stats can say all they like about the shots and stuff, but as we know, stats are like miniskirts. They look good on the outside, but it's what's underneath that counts. But 8-1, massive price. I thought Man United would do Chelsea yesterday as well. They've beaten 3 times already this season, and it's a wide open final, and that now looks the best way for Arsenal to qualify for the Europa League.
Yeah, good shout. Chelsea slight favourites, 11-10. That's a 48% chance. But yeah, it should be a decent final. That's sort of those semi-finals killed our bets really, as there were two shocks. And another shock that came yesterday, Anton, Nigel Pearson was sacked. The first time in Premier League history that a club has had 3 permanent managers during the season. As an outsider, what do you make of it?
I'm kind of got mixed feelings on this one, and I can understand your frustrations as a Watford fan. And I do think it is outrageous to get rid of him with 2 games to go when he was brought in to do that job till the end of the season. He's took him out the relegation zone, and he's done what's been asked for him. Don't get me wrong, some of these most recent performances have been bad, tactically bad as well, full-back areas in particular. But the Pozzo family, where Watford were when they came in, I think you've also got to remember that they're in a lot of financial difficulty. They've given Watford some brilliant times. They are too erratic at times, and it's one of the biggest annoyances with modern football. And I do hope Watford stay up, but they shouldn't have got rid of him 2 games to go.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that and sort of saying back from where they did take us, because we were on the brink of administration.
And I think it's very easy to forget that you're on the brink of administration. They've took you back to the top flight and had your best period in a very, very long time.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of, everyone would sort of say, oh, the club's a joke, the manager, they don't know what they're doing, and sacking the managers. And on the inside, we always said, yeah, we have been sacking the managers, but we keep improving. However, this season we haven't improved, and that's the worry. And if we go down, what could happen? Could we go down again if the form's that bad? If we stay up, it's a new build. But our pals at the sack race, they sent us over some odds for the next market. Claude Puel's the favourite, which absolutely stinks. Big Sam, Danny Cowley, Croatia manager Zika Dalak is in there, 10-1. He's interested. John Terry, 10-1, and Sabri Lamucci.
How do you think this is going to work, Charlie? With 2 games to go, is there going to be an interim who comes in for 2 games? And are we looking at this list of managers thinking this is your manager for next season? And if it's dependent upon if you're still in the Premier League or not?
Yeah, massively. There's no way that Big Sam's going to get called out between now and Man City. Hayden Mullins is in temporary charge. He actually was in charge of us when Quique Sanchez-Flores went, and he sort of played 4-4-2 both games, which if you're having a look in how that will play against City. But yeah, massively, this all depends on this market's going to be open for a while, depending on if we're in the Championship or in the Premier League. For me, I'd like to go for someone like John Terry. He was the early favourite when the market opened. Someone like him or Steven Gerrard. You see what sort of Frank Lampard's done, and I just think that personality could be a bit more relatable to the players. They've done it only recently, they're successful, and I think they set the standard and really good example. So I think John Terry I'd personally like. If I was to have a bet, I'd have a go at Sabri Lamucci at 14-1. I think he's done really well at Forest for the first time there in the promotion hunt, playing attractive football. And we actually approached him after Flores went. He actually turned us down because he wanted to see out his contract. I don't know if you've seen much of Forest this year, but do you know much of his work?
No, I'm not too familiar, Charlie, no.
Now, that's if I was to have a go on 14-1, but that market's going to be open for a while. So there could be value to be had. And it was another rollercoaster weekend for me. I was down and out after the West Ham game. And then on Sunday, I had a bit of money on Pearson, which sort of suffered the blow. And then obviously Bournemouth dropping points. So we've got one more week to go. Rollercoaster of emotions. We'll see what happens at the end of the week. Anyway, on to our bets for the weekend. So I know you've avoided Man City Watford because of Pep Roulette. So are you going to go for Arsenal versus Aston Villa?
Yeah, I've gone for Aston Villa here. Aston Villa v Arsenal was my game I'm previewing for bettingodds.com. And it's very interesting to see Aston Villa are being backed here in the winner market for the game. They're being backed massively. And that, I think, is because there's a very good chance of Mikel Arteta making wholesale changes here after 2 intense games against Liverpool and Manchester City. And you've also got, I think now, the FA Cup final is probably going to be their priority. The time of recording this, Arsenal are 10th in the Premier League, before some games tonight and then tomorrow, obviously. But they're 10th at the moment. It's looking like the best route is through the FA Cup to the Europa League. So expect changes from Arteta. My first bet was going to be Bukayo Saka to have 1 or more shots on target. The price has completely gone now. That opened at 21-10, and it's now down at 5-6, which is a price I don't think I can get involved with. There's a bit of a confusion whether he's going to be a left wing back or a left forward. If he's the left forward, your 6-4 and your 2-1 are great prices. But my actual first bet for this one I'm going for now is Jack Grealish to have 2 or more shots on target. And nobody averages more shots per game at Aston Villa this season than Jack Grealish. It doesn't say much about their strike force. Obviously, they've had Wesley, who had the injury, a bit unlucky there. But in his last 3 games, Jack Grealish has had 9 shots. He's been playing as part of a front 3. And he's by far the most attacking and threatening option that I feel they have at times. And having a look at the prices here, Sky Bet have this at 9-4, and Paddy Power have actually given us a little boost to 11-2, which looks a fair price there for him to have 2 or more shots on target. I know he's taken some money in this market already this morning, so 11-2 looks about right there for me.
Nice. Have you got another one for us?
Yeah, I've got a long shot, Charlie, and as you can still imagine, I'm still thriving off the 66-1 winner that came in last Thursday.
It's a bigger one.
Well, I've actually got a 35-1 shout for you here for this one. And one player I am expecting to come back in is Eddie Nketiah after suspension for Arsenal. I'm starting this one with him, and the bet itself, 35-1. Is Eddie Nketiah and John McGinn both to have 1 shot on target, and Lucas Torreira and Douglas Luiz to be carded. And as I mentioned, Nketiah should be coming back in for this one after his red card. And there's only Lacazette and Aubameyang who have a better shots on target average than Nketiah this season for Arsenal. And I think he'll play down the middle of the front 3. Lacazette and Aubameyang need a well-earned rest, and I think he's the one I want to be on there, Nketiah. John McGinn to have a shot on target. There's only Grealish who's averaging more shots per game than McGinn. Again, Villa's strike force I've mentioned this season. And this one's actually landed in 2 of the last 3 games for McGinn. He's on set pieces at times. He can let them fly from anywhere. So he's going into this one. Onto the cards. I'm actually going for Lucas Torreira. And I don't want a Granit Xhaka or a David Luiz for this one. And part of the reason Granit Xhaka is a very, very short price. He's actually 6-4 with both Betfair and Paddy Power at the time of writing this for a card. Torreira, we're looking at 21-10, so I feel you're getting a little bit more value here. And the key stat, Torreira's only played 16 times this season. He's been booked 6 of those. That market isn't taking that into account. What it is doing, Jack has had 9 yellow cards, and it's going off the total number of cards. It's not going off the amount of games played, which is often a nice way in to a market. So the Lucas Torreira to be carded. My one for Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz, booked 6 times this season. There's only Grealish who has more with 7, but Douglas Luiz has committed a lot more fouls than Grealish this season. Again, we've got a similar one like Xhaka and Torreira. Douglas Luiz is a much bigger price, 11-4 rather than 13-8 that Grealish is to be carded. Having a look at the foul count at Aston Villa this season, I can see that Douglas Luiz has committed 45, Jack Grealish 31. You've got Douglas at quite a bigger price than Grealish, so he's the one I want in here. So overall, we've got Eddie Nketiah and John McGinn one shot on target, Lucas Torreira and Douglas Luiz to be carded, 35-1 with Paddy Power.
It's been a winning formula. Let's hope we have 3 long shots in 3 weeks. Good work as always, Anton. Thanks for that. It's the last week of the Premier League, so make sure you're only betting what you can afford and gamble responsibly. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.